Welcome. Welcome back to another session. I want to thank you for joining me once again. And in today's session, I want to talk about a topic that I have called what drives you? What drives you? In the session I covered previously, I made reference to something that I think is key. Again, I'm speaking towards men. The theme is men of honor. Yesterday's session or the previous session, I made reference to whatever your hands find to do. And I was focused on productivity and how it is important to be a productive citizen, to be a productive person, to bring forth the gifts, the talents that you have been given, to be fruitful and to multiply, to serve other people with your gift, your skills, your talent, your presence, your knowledge. But most importantly, to always strive towards mastery, excellence, and a pursuit of the most important and the most possible ideal of excellence. Let me put another layer to that conversation in today's session. What drives you? As a man of honor, one of the things we need, or as men of honor rather, one of the things we really need is to be motivated by the right cause, to be motivated and driven by the right pursuit, to have a burning desire, to have reasons. Reasons make the difference in outcomes. If you were to bring two men to me, all I would need to focus on would be not their desires, not their words, not their past results, but their current reasons, their why. Hidden in that why is the word purpose. And so, purpose resurfaces once again in our conversation with regards to men of honor. Men of honor are men who have a purpose, a drive, something reaching out to them and calling them towards their best and their most ideal self. You have to understand the importance of having the right mental attitude as a man of honor. That attitude is what allows you to develop and construct or create or form a sense of courage, moral courage, a sense of destiny, a desperation quotient that pushes you towards pursuing that goal you might have or the purpose that you are aware of. I make reference to two lives that one can live. A life that is actually built and founded on your purpose. But you discover your purpose, you do not choose your purpose. And depending on where you are as a man, where you find yourself is not always your place of purpose, but it could be a preparation ground for your place of purpose, which was why in the session I covered previously, I made reference to productivity, to look around, to the importance of looking around and trying to identify problems around you and making an attempt to solve those problems for other people, to give of your service. By such, you are being productive as a man, but also as a citizen, but even more importantly, you are then preparing yourself for your ultimate task, assignment, or calling. You don't choose your purpose, you discover your purpose. The second way of living a purpose-driven life as a man of honor is to choose a purpose-driven pursuit. We call those goals and dreams, aspirations and visions. A man of purpose and a man of vision, a man of focused on his goals, always lives a life that has some meaning. He's motivated and driven by something greater than himself or herself, if in this case you happen to be a woman. Hence, in order to be a man of honor, you have to understand what drives you. Are you driven by daily trivia, or are you driven by something bigger than yourself? A wise man once said, I have seen my future and I have decided to live there. I have seen my future and I have decided to live there. You see, we have sight and we have insight. When we see using our eyes, we call that sight. It is a function of our eyes. It is a function of our sensory faculties. Sight, smell, touch, taste, smell. These are sensory faculties that we all have. Animals have the same sensory faculties. Therefore, there is nothing that distinguishes you from an animal. The sensory faculties and the senses are present in animals and human beings. A man of honor and a man of discipline and vision is one who develops his intellectual faculties, one of which is your imagination. With your imagination, you can create the future you want. You can pre-play your future. With another intellectual faculty, your memory, you can replay the past. Men of honor and men who are driven by a purpose or a goal are those who have images in their minds which motivates them and drives them towards living a life that is on the straight and narrow. As the saying, narrow is the gate that leads to life, and wide is the gate or the path that leads to destruction. We are distracted every day as men, but what we must do, especially for those who want to be men of honor, is we must choose a path, choose a life that is disciplined, that has boundaries, a life that requires sacrifice, delayed gratification, but even more importantly, a life that has an empire attached to it in our imagination, which means a life that is bigger than ourselves. As the saying goes, young men will have dreams and old men will have visions. To be a person of purpose, you either need to discover your purpose, which often takes time, but in the period of waiting to find your purpose, you choose a dream that gives you a purpose-driven life. What drives you as a man? Are you motivated by money? That is the wrong drive. That is the wrong reason. Let me take that back. I think that's slightly unfair. That is a convenient reason, but I have found it's not as fulfilling as most people think. The purpose of money, as most people believe, is that money will make you happy. That is not the purpose of money. Money is there to make you money is not created or designed to make you happy. Money and its purpose is to make you comfortable. When you find yourself in a comfortable state, all things remaining equal, you become more creative because your focus is now shifted towards thinking about how you can and what you can do, as opposed to the obsession about your lacks. Being comfortable allows you to become aware of how you can serve other people. Service to other people creates value for other people. The more you create value and you're productive, you're compensated. Money is there not to make you happy, but to create the environment to allow your talents and your skills and your purpose to flourish. But whatever you choose a dream, choose a goal, choose a pursuit that will light a fire under your bum, that sustains you, that preserves you, that nurtures you, that protects you. Choose a dream. Have something that is big, something bigger than yourself. Do not worry about how you will, or rather, do not worry about when you will achieve the dream. Spend most of your time focused on how you can achieve the dream. Believe that the dream is possible. Believe that the dream will be achieved in your lifetime. And then move each day comfortably, productively, enthusiastically towards that dream. Henry David Thoreau, one of the quotes that I love, he said that if a person will advance confidently in the direction of their dreams and endeavor to live the life that they have imagined, that they will meet with success, unexpected and uncommon hours. In other words, someday you will wake up, look around your environment and say, I've achieved that dream. The requirement, you need a dream. You need to move confidently towards that dream. You need to stay focused. You will reach the end. That's the promise. Wherever you can see and conceive in your mind, you can hold in your hands. But that requires dreaming. Now, I'll end today's session as follows. As part of what drives you, you need the right attitude as a man of honor, because there will be, my father used to say that there are fat times and there are lean times. But he goes on to say that in life you will go through difficult periods and prosperous periods. You go through bad times and good times, but at the moment you're going through each, you may not be able to distinguish which is which. It requires hindsight to look back and say, I can see the value of the meaning in that journey. Let me segue and address something that I think is perhaps key. Some time ago, I was amongst people who I never knew prior to meeting them. They were not really even acquaintances, they were strangers to me. During the discussion, I observed and I noted the necessity that most of them had placed on putting all the blame and all the responsibility on something external, and how they were never responsible for all of the ills, and how they saw themselves as a victim. It was the governments, it was the politicians, it was the state, it was their parents, it was their past, everybody except them. And I reminded them of the old saying, the old spiritual saying, which says, it's not my father nor my mother, it's not my brother nor my sister, but it's me, your Lord, standing in the need of prayer. And I encouraged them, as hard as it seemed, to recognize that the power lies within the individual, that there is nothing outside that can harm you or hurt you except what you allow. Now, this is not to suggest that as a man you will not go through difficult times and you will not get injured or you will not lose loved ones. But one of the most important things is your attitude, the ability to reframe experiences, the ability to respond to activities and things in life rather than react. You see, when you react to things, whatever that external stimuli is or thing is, they hold the power and the control. So for example, if I say something and you react to me, I'm in control. When you respond instead, you're in control. There's a big difference. We react out of habit. We respond out of thought, consideration, and awareness. As a man of honor, focus on having a purpose behind what you do on a daily basis. I would encourage you to do the following. It's important to recognize that though the future is uncertain, we can always look back to the past for inspiration. This is partly why in the sessions that I covered previously, I said, you have to become a good learner, a student learner, and a student leader, and to learn how to study. I found in my personal experiences, the more I read other people's biographies and autobiographies and history and the past, the more I developed a vocabulary of overcoming incredible odds. Not because the vocabulary of the words were all that I needed, but instead that as I studied other people's lives, I found that most people, over time, went through suffering. And those who overcame the suffering had a different attitude and a mindset. And I was able to read and understand that what is in you is greater than what is without. And that from the lives of the people that I had read, I could see clues, successful pathways, and for some lives I saw failure pathways. But more importantly, I found in studying the lives of other people, that the more I studied other people, the more I realized that we are all essentially the same. We have more in common than we have with regards to our differences. And if someone could achieve success despite all of the obstacles, then why not me? And why not you? More important question, why not now? This is only one life we have. It's not a dress rehearsal. We only get one shot. Why not give it a go? Why not try? Why not choose a purpose? A purpose that doesn't seem possible. Perhaps that would give you a meaning that allows that greatness within you to come to the surface. Now, as I close, as men of honor, we stand at the gates. We are the protectors, but more importantly, we stand in the gap. We bear the burden. Our lives can become more meaningful despite the burden and despite the challenges if we assign a purpose to our lives, a goal or a vision to our lives that enables us to dream and to look forward. Now let me end with the following. From the books of antiquities, I'm reminded of the stories of the gospel. And it was fascinating to read the Gospels. And what was strange is here you had a master telling his students about this future, about this promise, about this place where there was abundance. And I was always aroused and excited by the interaction between the student and the teacher. Very often, the students always came back to the master and they said, "Master, can you tell us about this place? This place you call heaven. Can you tell us the stories? Tell us what it looks like. Tell us what it's made of." And the reason for that was because they needed encouragement. You see, if the promise is large enough, the price we pay becomes easy, and no price is too much. If the promise is painted gloriously, and if the promise is huge, and if the promise is possible, a goal, a dream, a purpose paints a promise, a future for you, a reward, which means you're able to sacrifice something of a lower nature in order to receive something of a higher nature. I will end as follows. Every dream that I have chosen, large or small, I have come to find that whenever I had a strong enough reason for that dream, or for the attainment of that dream, or for the pursuit of that dream, I was able to pay the price. Difficult as the journey may have been, I was motivated because something was driving me. And at the back of my mind, in the deep recesses of my mind, was a picture of completion, a picture of fulfillment, a picture of my assignment being done, and therefore I could pay the price in the short term. Difficult as the journey may have been, I paid the price. I never paid the price completely in all instances and at once, but I found that I was able to labor and persevere because I believed that the promise at the end was better than the sacrifice I was making in the present. As men of honor, you must identify something that drives you. You must find goals and dreams, a future. You must find a magnificent tale, obsession, that allows you to stay on the straight and narrow and not be distracted by all of the life's events that push you away and distract you from choosing a different pathway. I want to thank you for joining me today, and I hope today's session has been of some value.